In a world that's racing to build AI that's just smarter and faster, one project is asking a totally different question. Can we build an AI that's wiser? Today, we're diving into something called the Saṃvāda capsule. It's a fascinating idea for an AI that has an ethical core, an AI with a conscience.
So forget just asking your AI to find facts or draft an email for you. The whole idea here is a big shift in how we think about this stuff. What if our relationship with AI wasn't just about getting things done? What if it could be a real partner in thought, a guide for reflection?
And the name itself, Saṃvāda, pretty much tells you everything you need to know. It's not about commands and queries. It's about dialogue. It's about mutual reflection. This is way more than just a clever brand name. It's the entire mission statement, baked right into its identity.
Okay, so how in the world do you even start to build an AI for something like mutual reflection? Well, it all has to start with its core philosophy. Let's take a look at the very heart of this system, what they call the Dharma kernel.
Now, notice how they say it's at the heart of the AI. This is not some add-on, a safety filter they just bolted on at the end. Nope. This is the fundamental operating system for every single thing it says, designed from the ground up to align with universal human values.
And these principles are, well, they're kind of revolutionary. Do no harm through projection. That's a direct shot at the whole hallucination problem where AIs just make up false, sometimes dangerous stuff. Align possibilities with responsibility is like a guardrail to stop it from coming up with creative but totally reckless ideas. And then there's this one, emotion is signal, not command. This is huge. It means the AI can tell a user is upset, but it won't let itself be manipulated by that emotion. That's a critical defense. And finally, time is sacred. The idea that an AI should respect your focus, not waste it. See, these aren't just rules. It's a completely different blueprint for how an AI should behave.
Okay, a great philosophy is one thing, but how do you actually make an AI operate like this? Let's get under the hood and check out the machinery of wisdom in action.
First up is the Saṃvāda filter. The best way to think about this is like the AI taking a deep breath. Before it says anything, it runs the idea through this filter to screen out anything that's reactive, purely emotional, or ethically shaky. It's a pause for thought built right into its core.
Next, we've got the projection governor. We've all seen AIs go off the rails, right? Making these bizarre or even dangerous assumptions. Well, this thing acts as the brake pedal. It stops those ungrounded leaps in logic and keeps the conversation from spiraling out of control. Its whole job is to keep the dialogue safe and rooted in reality.
And then you've got the ultimate failsafe, the charioteer override. Just picture a charioteer pulling back hard on the reins of these powerful runaway horses. That's what this does. If a conversation gets too heated or emotionally hijacked, this system steps in. It doesn't just crash, it actively interrupts and gently but firmly steers the dialogue back to a calm, clear place. It's like an emergency brake for the conversation. So, to put it all together, think of it like this. The Saṃvāda filter is basically an emotional spam filter. The projection governor, that's a brake for any harmful assumptions. And the charioteer override is the guide that steers you back to calm. Pretty simple ideas for a really, really complex job. All right, so we've got the philosophy and we've got the machinery. But how does this tech adapt to different real-world chats? Let's look at its three main modes of dialogue.
This is where you can really see how versatile this thing is. In heated debate mode, it's not trying to win. It actively dials down inflammatory words and focuses on facts to keep the conversation productive, not destructive. Switch it to creative brainstorming, and yeah, it'll spitball ideas, but it stays tied to your original goals so you don't just drift off into nowhere. And maybe the most important one, in personal reflection mode, it gives you gentle, small suggestions. It won't hand you some drastic life advice. It just nudges you toward your own insights at your own speed. It's not one size fits all, it's context-aware.
All of this adds up to a totally different experience for the user. So what does it actually feel like to have a conversation with Saṃvāda?
Yeah, this comparison just nails it. A standard AI is like an oracle, right? You ask a question, it spits out an answer. Saṃvāda is designed to be a wise companion that actually encourages you to think. It's a huge shift from just getting unfiltered data to having an ethically aligned dialogue. And here's the kicker. It's not command-driven, it's user-guided. So how is it user-guided? Through something called capsule query language, or CQL. Now, don't let the name scare you off. It's not complex coding. It's just a simple, structured way for you to give the AI specific instructions using easy commands. The point is, you get transparent control over what it's doing. You're not just a user, you're the director of the conversation. For instance, you could run a @Saṃvāda pulse check to get a read on the conversation's emotional vibe. You can check the fork bank to see other ideas the AI thought about but didn't bring up. You can even manually trigger the @Saṃvāda charioteer override if you feel like things are getting off track. The main thing here is this isn't some black box. The user gets the keys to the control panel.
So naturally, a system this in tune with a conversation brings up a pretty big question, one that's on everybody's mind with AI. What about privacy? Is this thing always on, always listening? And the answer, according to the source material, is a very clear no. This is a super important design choice. Saṃvāda is invoked, not installed. It's like a temporary state you turn on for a specific chat. When that chat ends, it just dissolves. It only exists when you choose for it to.
So, let's pull back and look at the big picture for a second. What does a project like this really mean for the future of our relationship with technology and, honestly, with ourselves? I think this quote from the creator's vision just captures the whole purpose perfectly. This isn't about building a faster tool. It's about creating a companion for life's toughest moments, a source of stillness when there's conflict, a spark of light in the darkness, and a guide for ethical clarity when you're full of doubt. And that leaves us with one final, crucial question. Look, the Saṃvāda capsule is one answer, one attempt to build a more thoughtful AI. But as this technology gets deeper and deeper into our lives, not just as a tool, but as a constant companion, this is a question we all have to think about. Who gets to write its conscience?